This is Part 5, Railroad Buildings, part of my series dealing with my HO model railroad, New York Harbor Railroad, Lehigh Valley. I will start with the headquarters building. This administration office is located on River Street in the Mott Haven neighborhood of the South Bronx. All the necessary administration, sales, customer service, and employee services are done here. Appropriately, it's next to a gas station, drugstore, bank, an Irish pub, and a hardware store. Across the street, we have a diner. We will now look at the other railroad buildings on the layout. This is one side, and now we'll go on to the other side. And we'll start with the control tower. The tower controls and monitors the operation. There also is some street running, and therefore a need to monitor and watch for possible accidents. This control tower is scratch built, and I have a small interior. This area is also used for diesel servicing, water, oil, sand, and for refueling. The refueling area is next to the storage tank. Here we see number 112 approaching the refueler. And if the tank needs to be filled, we call on Interstate Fuels. Sometimes they send this big trailer, which is usually a problem getting out, since it now has to back in and turn around in order to get back onto the street. This is the super's office. He is the chief of everything. Inside we find the chief sitting at his desk, and the dispatcher will put the plans into action. Next, we have the maintenance shop. Inside is the garage for the speeder. And next to that we have a work dock. And we see one of the local authorities doing some checking on our operation. There is a small parts supply warehouse. And a house track currently occupied by a transfer caboose, which is sometimes used on special trips to New Jersey. And then we have the engine house. And inside we have a servicing pit for inspections and work. This old express reefer is now used as a storage place. This is the bridge control room. The diesel fuel storage tank, hose and nozzle, which is made from a paper clip, are used then to refuel the tugboat. The float bridge, which is adjustable with the motors and the gearbox, worm drive located in the upper shed. Note that 1/2 of a turnout is on the float bridge, and that allows then to switch over to the outer track or the middle track of the car float. The first connection to the car float is a winch, and that's tied and pulled into moor the car float. Large pins are then inserted, and the car float is then tied to the float bridge by way of ropes, sometimes chains. The chains are also used to secure the freight cars, along with chocks and the brakes on the freight car itself. Here are some of the maps, photographs, books, DVDs that are used for research in order to develop the flavor of the area and the operation of car float operation dealing with rail marine services. In addition to researching with magazines, maps, pictures, different articles, you also have YouTube to look at how the transfer is done, and you come out with a essence of the operation in HO scale. There are smaller structures, such as this guard shack, and there's a watchtower that is used when the railroad is very busy. Because of space limitations, accidents and safety is a big issue. There is a phone booth, but it is no longer used. Right now it looks like a golfer is using it as a driving range. And there's a semaphore which is no longer used, and it's always set at stop. The railroad continued on to a larger area and that large 11-12 story warehouse that the Lehigh Valley had. So this gives you an idea of some of the structures we find on the New York Harbor Railroad, Lehigh Valley.